Hi there, and welcome to What's New and Coming Up with Lipedema. And really, it's what's new and coming up with whatever we're doing that has anything to do with lipedema and lymphedema. We're always involved in something, and we have some webinars coming up, and we have really a focus on our spring event. Um, we have two events during the year. We have one in spring, and it's the very beginning of spring. I'm looking out my window. Oh my God. I'm going to just take a moment and I'm going to love on the buds that are coming out on the tree. In the fall, when the tree was losing its leaves and I was looking at it, I said, "You'll be back. The buds will be coming out soon enough." And sure enough, there's just filled with the buds on the tree. And it's right outside my window. Right, I'm showing you because I'm so excited about it. Can you see that? That's a tree right outside my window. And there's the lake. Boy, what a blessing. Anyway, I'm so incredibly, you can tell I'm showing the lake all the time. This was like the dream place. This was my dream home. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. For some reason, I've been in a good mood the past couple of weeks. Hi, Taravia. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. It's been a while. And Carrie, hi, Carrie. Um, Make sure you put in where you're coming in from so that others know where you're coming from. The location. It's always good to know locations, or at least I think so. I'm in Mansfield, Massachusetts, which is right outside of Boston. I usually put Boston, but it's really this tiny little town called Mansfield. And Carrie's from Michigan, and Taravia's from Norristown, Pennsylvania, and I'm on a small little lake called Greenwood Lake. It's a private lake. And me and a whole lot of other people who have little houses. I have a tiny little house. It's not as tiny. It looks tinier than it is. Inside, it's very spacious, but outside, it looks very tiny. Oh my God, Miriam, Albuquerque is one of my favorite places. Hi, Anne Marie, New Jersey. So I've been happy lately. I don't know why the hell I'm happy lately. I don't have good reason. I had a bitch of a day this week. Um, I had one of those days when I woke up and I tried to get out of bed that all I could feel was the heaviness of my lipedema. Um, it was like there were 10-ton weights on both of my legs. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not supposed to be like this. I do too much of the right stuff for it to be like this. What the hell is going on? And I'm like, you know, I just said I'm having a bad day. I was late. Someone was driving me to physical therapy. She was a little bit late. I was a little bit late. We managed to get there pretty much on time, which was remarkable. Like we were 10 minutes late, but anyway. And it was this overwhelming sense of, I just don't want to do this anymore. And part of it, I'm going to give you the down and dirty, is I had a number of falls. Part of aging for me, hi, Anne Marie, it's so good to see you. Um, Part of the aging process is the awareness of the limitations with my physical fluidity. I don't want to call it mobility. It's really fluidity. It's the ability to move has been compromised. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that, but I'm happy like to be alive. So, what is it? When you have a chronic disease, there's a sorting out process. If I'm always going to sort out on the negative, I can. I can bitch any given time. Uh, I can bitch about it. I can feel ripped off. I have I have a very fun and intimate relationship with whatever you want to call a higher power. Um, I can call it my higher power. I can call it the universe. Dr. Carmody laughs at me all the time. You know, it's hard to call it God, but that's just because I don't know why. Just it's hard for me to call it God, but it is a higher power. It is, the force. It is the universe. I have a fun relationship with it. And boy, I have had some knockdown, drag out fights about this. It's like, how can I do everything right for so long and end up having to deal with some of these challenges, like getting sick for 2 years with central lymphatic dysfunction, moving here, loving it, loving it, but having things be disrupted enough that I had a number of falls, which were not fun and were really challenging. I haven't had one in quite a while, but I had two, one after the other, where I injured my shoulder. So last week I had to go through the process because it was really painful. I had to go through the process of finally giving in and going to get um, imaging done to see if there's any damage over and above what can be mitigated with physical therapy because I've been going to physical therapy. Oh my God, Carrie says, I've been there too. Pain is hard, and I feel you there too. Yeah, it's the pain piece that I'm not too happy with. Oh, Rhonda. Oh gosh, it's so good to see you. Rhonda's from Kansas. Um, so this is supposed to be what's new and coming up with lipedema, but what I always talk about is something that has been in my relationship with lipedema during the week because it's always something. And having a chronic disease is an opportunity. When I'm in a good space, it's a blessing because I find something in it that I can see as expansive, as an opportunity to grow. Oh my God. Thank you, Tavia. That is what a wonderful thing. She says it's your show and you can talk about anything you want, and I'm here to learn how to deal with it. Yeah, that is what me too, by the way. I'm here to learn how to deal with it. So, yesterday, so I still can't drive, which is a bitch. And so, but I have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful young lady that I hired. And so she drives me to physical therapy and other places. So yesterday I was pissing and moaning and I was like, she was like, you're still here. You're not going anywhere. Oh my God. And so we managed. Hi, Denise. We managed to get to physical therapy, but when I go, I don't have just one appointment. I had 3 appointments yesterday, 3 physical therapy appointments because I have problems now with my shoulder. Then I have manual lymph drainage. And the first therapy in the morning, she is so incredibly gifted as a healer. And when I started to go to her, the place in the places in my body that I had been so at war with started to come to peace. I started to experience more peace in the work with her. And so I wasn't able to see her for many, many months, during the move and when I wasn't able to drive and I had to figure things out. But I'm back seeing her and it makes such a difference. It's that quote that I share with all of you about befriending your body. I took a deep breath and thought to myself, I've been waiting my whole life for this, to befriend this body, to accept and love this body, even in its messiness, even in its limitations, even with its fighting back. So this all started because I talked about having a bad day this week. And then it does disappear. And mostly, I have to tell you this, I am psyched beyond belief for our upcoming event. Our upcoming event is April 25th, 26th, and 27th. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have two events a year. We have one in the spring and one in the fall. The one in the spring is usually topic driven, which means we pick a topic. A couple of years it was keto, or it was nutrition and um, conservative care. Uh, this year it's surgery, lipedema reduction surgery. And you ask why? Well, because enough people have asked for it. Yeah, wasn't it wasn't my pathway. Surgery did not work for me. And if you come to the thing, I'll tell a little more about my story. It didn't work for me. I was thinking it was going to be a magic bullet that I was going to go poof like a magic wand, and that the surgeon would take his cannula, suck out the fat, and I would finally lose the weight I'd had trouble losing, and I would be able to be more fluid. Um, Sandra says another tornado watch. The weather is not great with arthritis. Arthritis is a comorbidity to lipedema, and I think that that's part of why we get into the funks that sometimes I get into anyway. So the surgery event coming up. So I've been working on it a lot. I mean, that's basically what I'm doing. m- You know, we have almost at this point 30 speakers. A number of them are well known surgeons from around the world. I am a global thinker. I think in terms of, well, we have a couple from the US, different places in the US coming. We have a couple from Germany. One of the doctors has a practice in Dubai, and I'm actually talking to another one who has his practice in Cyprus. And I've heard really good things about him. So anyway, we'll see if the Cyprus guy works out. Um, but we have this global support structure, which is driven by us, by the women who have lipedema, tend to drive it more than anything else. And I think that that's an amazing, amazing thing that we get to do. So I'm gonna I do this, I've done this a couple of weeks. I'm gonna do it again today. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the event. because the cost is about to go up. I said that last week, but it really is. I talked to Akanksha, who is our marketing person, and she wanted to leave it for another day so she could send out an email to let people know. Then I figured, well, that's only fair. You can let people know it's going up. Okay, here we are, and here it is. You are not alone. Lipedema Surgery Simplified, Heart to Heart 3-day virtual event conference. Holistic tools and support for every step of your journey. And I have to tell you, it's so we have day one is a surgical overview. A number of surgeons are going to talk about all the different elements that you need to know about the surgery, about a holistic approach. There is a hospital in Berlin that only does lipedema surgery, the entire hospital clinic. And they're amazing. It's a wonderful team. And its director and founder, Dr. Frank Lepschies, is going to be one of our keynote speakers. So he's going to talk about that and others. And then navigating choices. So you're going to be able to, on day 2, learn about different surgeons in different places. I don't know why that keeps coming up. Okay, let me do it from here. That should be better. And then day 3, I can't tell you how psyched I am about day 3, about the whole thing, but day 3, we have someone who's going to be talking about how to get pre-authorization for insurance coverage here in the US. Insurance coverage doesn't work as far as I know in other places, but definitely here in the US. And how to do the appeals process. One of the things you need is called a functional evaluation, usually done by a CLT or some manual lymphatic drainage person who does it, usually a therapist has to do the evaluation. So we have Jacqueline coming in, and she's going to go through it with everybody. And there's more. And there's someone who's coming in who does the appeals process, helps women set up the appeals process if they get denied from their insurance company. Anyway, it is really amazing. So I've been working on this and feeling great. Here are some of the that's our staff is me and Dr. Carmody and Leslin and Siobhan. We're all involved. And then there's surgeons, Dr. Lapshis, Dr. Larson, Dr. Michel, Dr. Gotowski, Dr. Volstein, Dr. Amato, and then right in the middle is Dr. Roxon. He's going to be talking about the new textbook that's coming out very soon in September. Dr. Carrie Reedy and Bill Rapisi and his new scientific staff, and Brian Hayward on pain management. And Michelle and Leah are both involved in insurance coverage and getting it. Jacqueline is the CLT who does the functional analysis. And then some patients with stories. And yeah, that's a couple of tribe members, because we're going to invite everybody to join us in tribe if you haven't already. Oh, and there is, wait, it's 147. It's actually 397, but we have it on the early bird, and that's only going to be, I think, until tomorrow or Sunday. Anyway, there's only a few tickets left. There's only 9 seats left. Instead of doing it time-wise, we did it seat-wise. So we have only 9 tickets left. So if you think one is yours, make sure you get it. Okay, I'm going back now. Here I am, and I'm going to stop sharing. So I've been diving into all of that, and I have to say, what I'm excited about is if I could have had all that knowledge when I started, it would have made my journey so much easier. So much easier. And I want it to be as easy as it can be for everyone else. And that's as simple as that. So I've managed to talk for over 20 minutes. How that happens, I'll never know. A TED Talk is 18 minutes, and in 18 minutes, they are brilliant, and I can go on and on. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to bring it to a close, say thank you for joining me. Um, Thank you for not only listening, but for responding, not only in the chat, but the emails that I get, and that, you know, being listened to and heard, and that you can relate to what I say about the pain and learning what to do and how to do it. It means more than I can say, and you know that from your own experiences in trying to find someone who knows and can treat lipedema. That's why we're here. That's why we come together. And I have to say, it makes a difference. All right, ladies, sending lots of love, hugs, kisses, and a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Whatever it is, wherever you are, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, have a very blessed week or weekend.